Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started. Today we're talking about Saab, the team that includes promising Brazilian driver Gabriel Bortolito, and how things have been looking up for them recently. After a tough start to the season, Saab has shown notable signs of improvement, and the latest races have given fans something to smile about. At the Spanish Grand Prix, the team surprised everyone with a strong performance. Nico Hülkenberg managed to finish well within the points, marking one of Saab's best results this season. What really got people talking, though, was his late race overtake on Lewis Hamilton. Yes, you heard that right. Hülkenberg in a Saab managed to pass a Ferrari, and not just anyone, but a 7-time world champion. This upswing in performance seems to be the result of a recent upgrade package that the team introduced. The car looks much more stable and balanced now, giving the drivers a platform they can finally work with. According to Hülkenberg, who crossed the line in 5th place in Spain, several encouraging steps have been taken in the right direction. He praised the team's progress and noted that the car finally felt competitive, with solid overall performance and much better race pace. The stronger result wasn't just about raw speed either. Saab also executed smart race strategies, maximizing what they had and capitalizing on opportunities as they came. That combination of a more refined car and sharp decisions on the pit wall led to a result the team had been working hard to achieve. And it's exactly this momentum that they hope to carry into the Canadian Grand Prix this weekend. Looking ahead, Hülkenberg was realistic yet optimistic when asked about expectations for Montreal. He admitted that there's still a lot of work to be done and that the team can't get ahead of themselves. The goal, according to him, is to maintain consistency. It's not about expecting miracles, but about continuing to build on the gains they've made over the last few weekends. He emphasized the importance of starting strong on Friday with the right car setup and clean data collection. If Saab can get things right from the beginning of the weekend, they'll put themselves in a good position to qualify well and aim for points once again on Sunday. However, Hülkenberg also kept things grounded. He doesn't expect to be fighting at the very front like in Spain. Instead, he's targeting solid midfield battles, and if they can stay in that fight, he said he'd be satisfied with that performance. That's the tone inside the Saab garage right now, hopeful but realistic. There's definitely a sense of excitement about what's possible, but no one is losing sight of the work still required. The team knows that real transformation takes time, and for now, their focus remains on steady progress. As for Gabriel Bortolito, while he hasn't made a major splash yet, his presence is seen as a symbol of the team's future direction. Saab is trying to balance short-term gains with long-term investment, and Bortolito is part of that vision. The plan is to evolve the car and the team as they prepare for the big transition coming in 2026, when Saab will officially become Audi. So, while things are trending in the right direction, it's clear that Saab is keeping both feet firmly on the ground. They're making smart moves and gradually climbing back into the mix, but there's no illusion that the road ahead will be easy. Let us know what you think. Are Saab's recent results a sign of real progress? Do you believe they can keep building and push further up the field as the season continues? Or do you think the current level is already enough for 2025 and all energy should go toward preparing for 2026 and the Audi era? Drop your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned. We'll be here to keep you updated as the story unfolds. Mercedes heads into the Canadian Grand Prix weekend with renewed optimism, aiming to carry forward the momentum gained from a promising performance at the Spanish Grand Prix. After a roller coaster season filled with ups and downs, the team is cautiously hopeful that they may have turned a corner with their most recent upgrades. Their performance in Barcelona, where the W15 showed significant improvement, has rekindled hope among team members and fans alike. The 2024 season began on a high note for Mercedes, with early races suggesting that the team had taken a meaningful step forward from the difficulties of previous years. However, as the season progressed, inconsistency began to creep in. Problems with balance, tire degradation, and an unpredictable performance window began to plague both Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. The car's peak performance seemed elusive, sometimes strong in qualifying, weak in the race, or vice versa. But in Barcelona, the signs were different. According to team principal Toto Wolff, The data collected over that weekend was the most encouraging they've seen all season. He pointed to measurable improvements in tire management, aerodynamic balance, and overall consistency as key indicators that their recent updates are working as intended. Wolff emphasized that while there's still ground to cover, Mercedes finally feels they're moving in the right direction. With the Canadian Grand Prix just around the corner, Mercedes is placing a clear focus on consistency. They aim not only to replicate their Spanish performance, but to build upon it. The team has stated that they plan to experiment with several setup configurations in Montreal, hoping to better understand how the car behaves across different types of corners and under varying conditions. Montreal's circuit Gilles-Villeneuve, known for its mix of long straights and technical chicanes, poses a very different challenge compared to Barcelona. Yet, the team believes the characteristics of the Canadian track may actually suit the current iteration of the W15. In particular, they are banking on the car's improved aerodynamic stability and straight-line efficiency to give them an edge in both qualifying and race pace. Despite the optimism, Mercedes remains realistic. They know that catching McLaren, now considered one of the frontrunners alongside Red Bull and Ferrari, will require more than just one good weekend. However, they believe that if they can deliver another strong showing in Canada, they will position themselves back into serious contention for podiums and, potentially, even victories as the season unfolds. Internally, the atmosphere has improved. The mood within the team after Barcelona was markedly more upbeat, with both drivers praising the upgrades and the direction the team is taking. There's also a growing sense that Mercedes has finally begun to understand the core issues that were holding back the W15 earlier in the year. The upcoming race in Canada will serve as a critical test. Can Mercedes prove that Barcelona wasn't a one-off? Can they build on what they've learned and show that the W15 is now a genuine threat again? The team hopes the answer is yes, but they are prepared to keep grinding, even if the progress continues to come in small steps. As fans await qualifying and race day, attention will be on how Hamilton and Russell handle the renewed expectations. Both drivers have remained patient through the difficult stretches, but the desire to return to the front of the grid is stronger than ever. If the Canadian Grand Prix confirms Mercedes is back on track, it could mark a pivotal moment in their 2024 campaign. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's race week again with the Canadian Grand Prix just around the corner, and there's a lot going on in the world of Formula One. To keep you updated with everything that matters, make sure you're subscribed here to Grand Prix. We post daily and always keep things straight to the point, with just the key updates you need to stay informed. This time, we're talking about Ferrari and the uncertain future of their 2025 campaign. A few weeks ago, we already highlighted that the team was not in the best shape. Both drivers have publicly voiced their frustration with the car's performance. Lewis Hamilton in particular went on record saying that Ferrari should give up on trying to fix this season's car and instead focus entirely on developing the car for next year. According to him, the 2025 car is already too far gone, and real hope only lies in what Ferrari can deliver for 2026. Initially, reports suggested Ferrari had at least one more major update planned for this season. However, that update has been delayed race after race. Hamilton even admitted he had no idea what was going on behind the scenes, saying he hadn't received any concrete information from the team regarding development plans. Now, with new information surfacing from both Planet F1 and Auto Racer, the picture is finally becoming clearer. According to these reports, Ferrari has indeed continued working on a significant upgrade, one that is focused primarily on the rear suspension. The goal is to fix an ongoing issue with ride height that has been impacting the car's performance all year. The current setup causes the car to sometimes ride too high or too low depending on the track and conditions. That imbalance directly affects the performance of the floor, which is a critical component in ground effect aerodynamics. Any instability in that area can lead to unpredictable handling and performance loss, especially on cars that rely heavily on ground effect, like this year's Ferrari. The upgraded suspension is expected to debut at the British Grand Prix next month. The components have already undergone several tests at Ferrari's factory and are now cleared for production and installation. However, the news doesn't stop there, and it might not be what fans were hoping for. Auto Racer has reported that this will be the final major update Ferrari brings to the 2025 car. After this, all of the team's development focus will shift to next year. That means all wind tunnel time, simulation resources, and design efforts will be redirected to the 2026 car. There will still be small tweaks and minor updates if needed, but no more large-scale upgrades will be developed for the current car. In essence, Ferrari has made the internal decision to close the development book on this season. Still, the team remains hopeful that this final update can offer a meaningful boost in performance. They believe it might be enough to help the drivers secure better finishes and perhaps end the year in a more competitive position. The goal now seems to be salvaging some dignity and momentum heading into next season, rather than continuing to push for results that feel increasingly out of reach. It's a strategic move that many top teams have made in the past, especially when titles are off the table. However, for a team like Ferrari, where expectations are always high and the fan base is global and passionate, shifting focus this early can be seen as controversial, especially considering that Lewis Hamilton will be looking for a stronger debut season with Ferrari in 2026. This move might be a calculated decision to ensure a better car is ready from day one.